Hey guys, today we have a new update in Etheria Restart. So tomorrow we're going to be seeing some new gameplay with a Dreamscape and Midsummer Fest event. But the most important one that we are talking about right now is going to be the new shell Slumber or Dreamber. They can't even get the wording right. But a new shell that's going to grant you a lot of training data, which is their first step of fixing the economy, because there are many other things like EXP, coin, config chip, lattice, and many other small things in between. This is going to be the first step at fixing the economy. So what just happened? If you go to the shell drop table for Inferno of any level, you will see that the dungeon will no longer drop the yellow shell, because the moment you get here and you start building your Inferno shell, this is going to be very meaningless, like the Twilight Knight or the Shock. So they are replacing that with Dreamber. So this thing is not to be used in combat, it is mainly to be sold for training data. So as you can see right there, that's going to be the only shit that you cannot make this shit up. So they did not really change the drop rate for the Inferno shell. It's just that they're replacing the bees and the shock that you get with something that's going to give you a bit more value. So by recycling this new shell, you're getting double the amount of training data compared to the normal epic shell, which is a pretty cool thing. And you also get config chip dropped from the shell as well. So for me personally, I appreciate the increase in training data every single time I farm the dungeon. So I think every run will give you about like maybe 12,000 or 11,000, and we get one of this, you're gonna sell that for 8,000. So on average, I would say if you only farm shell the entire day, which is what I'm doing right now for the next couple of weeks, then you're gonna get about 20k per run. So every day you get about maybe 2 million training data, give or take, around there. With 2 million training data, I think for most player, you guys need to stop re-rolling passive, okay? I have so many shell built up and I can progress really far in the game, but I don't re-roll every single shell that I get. Like some of my shell will have like purple speed, some of them will have red speed, and a lot of them will have like yellow speed. And I don't even attempt to re-roll the third one. Like, forget about that one. I'll reroll the speed. If I get a decent speed like yellow, I'll go and reroll the stat. And those are the most important things for you guys to reroll. But you know what's more important? Having the shell that is going to be good for a certain situation. So my Freya is right now using Artisan. My Freya can also be using Revelation for PvP. My Freya can also be using maybe Gigabyte to get more turn. My Freya can also be using Jackal Guard. So depending on the content, changing to the right shell is very, very important. And I think a lot of people now always just re-roll passive and you don't build new shell. I think having a very good arsenal of red shell available to be used is going to be very good. The moment you switch to Inferno farming, you're going to get the triple matrix shell very, very quickly. So the moment you have like this one right here, you can switch it, imprint it into the new triple bonus shell and get so much more stat pretty much immediately. You don't have to like, gotta farm one now. And it's going to create a friction between that you have to spend an entire day to farm a new shell or farm the trading data to upgrade that shell. But because I have so many shell available and they're all very useful to me. Like, for example, my healer is using Supernova and she can also be using Fortissimo or Artisan depending on the situation as well. So I think building up a great arsenal of okay-ish shell, okay? They're not going to be optimal. They're going to be like usable. I think that's going to be so much better for your general progression instead of building out like 3 shell and trying to maximize the shell to the best of your ability. And then you're always broke. And because of your bad luck, because the people with good luck, they don't really care, right? They roll 3 times, get red speed. Why are you guys broke, Lamau? But you can be the unlucky one and be like me and get yellow speed for like 5 million trading data and never move on from one shell. And then you never build anything new and you're going to get very, very frustrated. But overall, is this a very good solution? I think it's more of like a band-aid kind of solution. I appreciate the increase in my training data, but a lot of people are pissed on the Reddit and the Discord because they feel like, damn, it doesn't feel like shit. So let's listen to Jack a while back talking about this exact solution and situation in the game.
Simplest solution is just like buff the training data drop, like simply 50%, not even double. I think just a little bit more so that you can actually max out one shell a day.
Yeah, because the training data it's a number, so you cannot feel it's 1,000, it's 10,000, 2,000. you cannot really feel that. But we hope when we introduce this new training data shell, you can see, you get it, and it's rewarding because you get 5 of them, you get 50,000 of training data, that. So it's better than a useless red one. Even it's better than, because you sell a red one, you get 10K, let's say, then you get a gold training data shell, you get 20K. So you feel, oh, this is even better than some trash red one, right? Because the red one, if it's not perfect, you still want to sell it. So yeah, we already discussed a lot. It's just adding some number. It's easy, but it's not feel that good, and even you cannot feel it. Even we add it, you cannot feel it.
All right, I think he kind of fucked up right there by saying 20K because he wasn't very sure of the actual value in the game. And a lot of people are using that right now in the Discord or the Reddit to say that, what the fuck? I thought he said 20K, 30K. What is this 8K piece of shit? But I really think he wasn't just like super sure about the exact number. He was just using like an example to say that's like 20K, 30K. But in actuality, it's like 8K. So first, feeling. He said that if he buffed the number, you wouldn't really feel anything. So I think in a way, if you're like a casual player, you don't play the game a whole lot, and you go back to farm and they buff the number of training data and you don't read patch note, because who the hell read patch note anyway, right? You wouldn't really notice the change, the improvement that they make in the game. However, if you come back to the game and you see this instead of like Twilight Night or the Shock, then you can see that they are doing something to improve the economy. I think that is what he meant in the conversation by giving people the visual that they are doing something to improve the game. However, to many, many people, seeing this crazy amount of yellow drop is still not exactly very reassuring or inviting to farm the content, because once again, we're at Inferno. We should be seeing Inferno drop most of the time, but you're seeing trash most of the time. However, this is better than like a trash version of this, right? Because they give you more training data. Overall, for me, a person who doesn't really have a lot of training data all the time, I really appreciate the change. Do I want more training data? Of course. Like, I want to see this number to be like 160,000, for example, double the drop of training data. And maybe I want to see this thing to sell for maybe 10,000. So overall, we're swimming in training data. That will be amazing for me. But this is what we get, and I guess we're going to live with it for now. Another thing that people are talking about a lot is the lack of reconfiguration chip. So I'm not exactly sure about that because I have a lot of reconfiguration chip because I don't reroll like every time, every day. I reroll when I have some surplus, which is not very often anyway. So I don't have like super optimized shell, but I can still progress in the game just fine. So I think I strongly believe you don't need a super triple red optimized shell to progress in the game. Like, I think if you have triple yellow, you're doing okay. Like, I wouldn't mind having triple red, but I think triple yellow or like one red, one yellow, one purple in your passive effect is gonna be okay to progress in the game because I'm doing just fine in like most Inferno content and endgame PvE stuff. But if you're re-rolling a whole lot, I guess you're gonna run out of reconfiguration chip. I have like 3K and I pretty much sell every yellow, right? And I also sell all of the one matrix red one because I'm at a point where I don't even need these anymore as like the bad one to make the new shell. I can probably sell all the +2 matrix level as well because I've been farming so much in shell all day every day. If I do that, I get another like maybe 1,000 chip. So I don't know how people are running out of chip, to be honest. I have 3,000 here and I never have enough training data. And maybe, okay, maybe I'm going to buy my own words right there in a week or two because I think my shell arsenal is looking okay. Because I just need to build a couple more lighthouse and I will start the re-rolling hell, for example, because I can pretty much fill all the niche that I need in terms of shell. Maybe I need to build more. Maybe I need another amber or two, but it's not like super duper important. So maybe I'm going to complain about reconfig chip in the future. Who knows? But right now, I don't really mind the chip. I really need more training data like all the freaking time. Also, another problem that people are talking about is that they didn't... Also, another problem that people are talking about is that they did not really touch the hell level of this content whatsoever, and they're only changing Inferno as if they don't give a shit about casual player. I think overall this game is not very casual friendly because you gotta really dive deep into the knowledge and the guides and all the stuff to really play the game efficiently. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, it's going to be a very tough time progressing through the game. I think instead of like the training data shell, they could easily double the soul value of the yellow shell. And then people are going to feel good when they sell the yellow shell. But then that would make the yellow shell more valuable than, in a way, than the red shell. And then they're going to buff the red shell as well. And they probably don't want to do that to make the game too easy for you. They really want to keep the game as difficult as possible. I think that's their way of making this game. And they keep the value of the hell drop pretty much the same in this patch. Nothing really changed right there. I think for like super tryhard player, maybe people get here in a week. But for like casual player, maybe 3 weeks. And you're going to get here anyway. So you can farm here and get a whole lot of training data and progress through the game. Like if you only farm Nico Nana Inferno and maybe Doki Doki Hell 4, you're gonna go really far in the game, to be honest with you guys, because most of the time to build a new team, I realize that I am building like a damage dealer and 4 unit require Swift. And I think that's just Nico Nana and Doki Doki. But I think overall people are not very happy with the change for me personally. So let's say right now I'm farming about 2 million training data per day. That's going to allow me to build 1 new shell from 0 to max level. Like let's say I'm building this lighthouse. I'm going to max out this lighthouse very, very easily by farming an entire day. But in the past, I would do that and then have nothing left to show for. But now I can max out 1 shell and then maybe reroll a couple passive. Okay, so maybe that's not too bad. I'm not too sure though, because this is like the first day of getting the extra training data. I'm not sure if we're going to be swimming in that currency just yet. Also, we haven't seen the Dreamscape new gameplay thing yet. And they keep saying that it's going to be one of the best event ever. I'm going to see. Okay, we're not too sure just yet. So overall, I'm still progressing. I'm still having fun playing with the game. I know a lot of people are very, very mad in the Discord server and the Reddit. I hope that they will take the feedback and they will do something about it. But I think right now they're very focused on the World Championship thing that's happening in China at the moment. Also, he said this.
Like so RNG things, bad experience in a game like the, how to say, the Inferno shell drop. Of course, it's not good, looking very good right now. I saw some screenshots that they do a 5 round or 10 round. It's all gold. It's no red. I saw that. So we are already trying to figure out a kind of PTC system, like at least every 5 round or 4 round, you at least get 1 red. So it's not 10 round you get nothing, right? Another thing is
Jack, you said that, okay? So I think we need to see that maybe in the next patch note. That'll be very, very cool, because the amount of screenshot of all the training data shell on the Discord server is kind of funny to look at.